Welcome to Sports News. Nigeria's Super Eagles got a bit of a shocker in Calabar as they suffered a stunning 3-2 home defeat to Congo at their 2015 AFCON qualifiers. Well, it was the first defeat in some 47 home games for the defending champions since the qualifiers started some 48 years ago, and the first time they conceded 3 goals at home in an elimination game.
It's often said there are no minnows in African football any longer. But the Super Eagles never saw this humiliating defeat coming, given their pedigree as African champions.
I think he was looking for the one, and that one comes across, and it's a goal! It is a goal!
Nigeria drew first blood through the right back, F.A. Ambrose, in the 13th minute. A brilliantly taken free kick by Ahmed Musa found the Celtic defender, who headed home to the applause of the fans.
Goal it is for Nigeria, and I think it's F.A. Ambrose that buried that one for the Super Eagles.
That celebration was short-lived 3 minutes later as Congo equalized.
Oh, great football there. He turns it across and it is the equalizer. It is a very cool equalizer, and that's a sign of things to come for the Eagles. They've got to wake up, they've got to mean business, they've got to give some respect to these Congolese.
The visitors then went ahead in the 40th minute through TV Bufumba. Bufumba found the back of Nigeria's net after a beautiful exchange of passes which rattled the Super Eagles' defense.
That nicely. Jide bristling, but they couldn't do this because that's what you call splitting the defense. And how about that for calmness personified?
Bufumba scored his second of the match from the penalty spot after the referee had adjudged Ogenye Onazi to have fouled a Congolese player in the box.
In the shirts of Nigeria, and it is a goal. It is a goal, the third one for Congo, and they are really...
Warri Wolf striker Bola Salami reduced the tally a few minutes to the end of the game.
Doesn't believe, but Bola Salami was in the right place at the right time, and Nigeria can dare to dream again.
This result now means Nigeria must beat South Africa in Cape Town on Wednesday to take the pressure off coach Stephen Keshi and his technical crew. For Nigerians, the heat is on.
Congo have come, they have seen, they have conquered, the Devils have had the day.
Now to tennis, Kei Nishikori overcame top seed Novak Djokovic in 4 sets to reach the final of the US Open at Flushing Meadows. The 10th seed from Japan produced a quite superb display to record a 6-4, 1-6, 7-6, 6-3 triumph, becoming the first Asian man to reach the final of a Grand Slam tournament. Despite having to come through grueling 5-setters in both previous rounds, Nishikori displayed tremendous endurance on a scorching day in New York as both players battled the heat as well as each other. Serena Williams says there is time for friendship and a time for business, and business doesn't get much more serious than a Grand Slam final. The American confronts her best friend Caroline Wozniacki in the final of the US Open at Flushing Meadows. The pair spent some holiday time together in Miami earlier in the summer, but on Sunday they will be bidding for US Open glory with very different motivations. For world number 1, Williams' victory would give her an 18th Grand Slam title, putting her alongside Chris Evert and Martina Navratilova in the all-time list. Former world number 1 Wozniacki is hoping to win her first Grand Slam title and complete an unlikely comeback, having recorded just 1 quarter-final appearance in her past 11 Grand Slams.
She's such a great person and a great girl.
Well, the American Justin Gatlin proved he is the speed king for 2014 with a sprint double victory at the Diamond League finals in Brussels to put him firmly on course to complete the year without defeat. Gatlin set a personal and season's best time in the strong 100 meters and followed that up an hour later by winning the 200 meters. If he wins his final race in Italy's Rieti on Sunday, he will become the first male sprinter to go through an entire season unbeaten since Usain Bolt in 2009. And Lewis Hamilton has put his faltering World Championship bid back on track by claiming pole position for the Italian Grand Prix ahead of Mercedes teammate Nico Rosberg. Hamilton, seeking to close Rosberg's 29-point lead, had not qualified at the front of the grid since the Spanish Grand Prix in May. Williams drivers Valtteri Bottas and Felipe Massa were next ahead of McLaren's Kevin Magnussen and Jenson Button. Ferrari's Fernando Alonso broke the 2x2 formation ahead of the Red Bull driver Sebastian Vettel. And Vettel outpaced teammate Daniel Ricciardo for the fourth time in 6 races as Force India's Sergio Perez completed the top 10.
Expected maybe we could be a little bit closer to them today, but yeah, I really hope so. I think we have a solid race pace, and it just depends how much they have more pace left than on Friday.
It's a long race, and everything can happen, and so just need to now work towards the race and try and get a good start, and then have a good race. But anyways, also, I mean, definitely the team again. It's so great, even on a track like Monza, where it's such a different track to all the others, and even coming here, still, we're so dominant, and that's great to see. Of course, it's only qualifying. The race still remains to be seen. Very proud of my guys. My guys on the side of the garage have obviously have also been through the difficult time with me, and they've done a room in terms of every time bouncing back and fixing the car and dealing with the difficulties. So, we've done this as a team, and it's great to have another 1-2 for the team. I'm really proud that I could be up here for them.
Well, that'll be it on sports news. The news at 10 continues shortly.
On the foreign scene, medical charity Médecins Sans Frontières has reacted to the 3-day lockdown declared by Sierra Leone in its effort to fight the Ebola scourge ravaging the nation. The charity said the move will force people underground, destroy trust between doctors and the public, and ultimately help spread the disease. About 2,100 people in Sierra Leone, Liberia, and Guinea have so far died. MSF, whose staff are helping to tackle the outbreak, said in a statement that quarantines and lockdowns end up driving people underground, jeopardizing the trust between people and the health providers. This, they say, leads to the concealment of potential cases and ends up spreading the disease further. Ukraine's Petro Poroshenko and his Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin spoke by phone to discuss steps to make Friday's truce durable. The comments come despite reports of shootings by both pro-Russian rebels and Ukrainian government troops. Meanwhile, Russia vowed to respond if the European Union imposes new sanctions over the Ukraine crisis. The EU says the sanctions targeting more Russian individuals will be introduced on Monday, but could be later suspended if Russia withdraws troops from the eastern Ukraine and observes a current truce. Russia has repeatedly denied accusations by Ukraine and the West that it has been sending regular troops into eastern Ukraine to help the rebels. Some 2,600 people have died in fighting after pro-Russian rebels seized towns in Ukraine's eastern Donetsk and Luhansk regions in April, a month after Russia's annexation of Crimea. U.S. President Barack Obama has abandoned a plan to force through immigration reform before the end of the summer. In June, he promised to use executive orders that were expected to change visa rules, boost border security, and give a path of citizenship for some 11 million U.S.-based illegal immigrants. But the White House says the plans have been shelved until after midterm elections in November. Each year, tens of thousands try to get into the U.S. from Mexico. Many are unaccompanied children, and Mr. Obama has called the situation a humanitarian crisis. He spent years promising immigration reform, but has been thwarted by Republicans in Congress. White House officials said on Saturday that the Republicans' extreme politicization of this issue meant it will be harmful to the long-term prospects for reform to take action before the election. And the main news again. Former Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Azubuike Hejirika, has refuted allegations of connivance with the Boko Haram sect leveled against him by Australian negotiator Stephen Davis. Members of the People's Democratic Party in Kwara State have staged a protest against the leadership of the party in the state. An outbreak of cholera in Sokoto State, northwest Nigeria, has left 16 people dead, and medical charity Doctors Without Borders have said that Sierra Leone's proposed countrywide lockdown will not help control an Ebola outbreak. That's it on the news at 10 tonight. Thank you so much for watching. I am Olumide Macaulay. From all of us here, do have a good night.